everybody. It is live Gentle Yoga with Sarah Little for coming at you from the Claremont Club. Carrie Ann is in place and ready to go. We're going to use possibly a couple of towels to sit on today. And if you have a chair or a bench or a stool nearby that you can lean into, that is will be handy for today's practice. We're going to work on poses that help us to calm the brain, to calm the mind. And we'll start it in an easy pose. So if you want to sit down on your mat on a blanket, or you could go ahead and start seated in your chair if that would feel good to you as we're wandering around and getting started here. Okay. So the poem I have for you this morning is one of my absolute favorites. It comes from a collection put together by Czesław Miłosz, a Polish poet, a book of luminous things. It's a really beautiful story. Not story, but collection of poetry. And the poem I want you, good morning, you made it. The poem I'm going to start us off with is by Anna Sphere. And the name of the poem is The Same Inside. These people behind me are going to sit down on their butts any second. It's going to be amazing. They're going to sit down. They're going to ground their energy. They're going to stop behaving like the 13-year-olds that they are.
You stop it.
All right. I'm glad you guys are making it. Okay. Here goes. Anna Sphere, The Same Inside. Walking to your place for a love feast, I saw at a street corner an old beggar woman. I took her hand, kissed her delicate cheek. We talked. She was the same inside as I am. From the same kind. I sensed this instantly as a dog knows by scent another dog. I gave her money. I could not part from her. After all, one needs someone who is close. And then I no longer knew why I was walking to your place. That's by Anna Sphere, and translated from Polish by Czesław Miłosz and Leonard Nathan. All right, so we're looking to get into the head and neck and face space today. And we're going to do that first by getting into the whole spine, and then we're going to work on calming some of the spinning of the head by getting our heads down a bit. So we're going to start in sort of a Kundalini style warm-up. So find your easy seat, whatever that is. And if you've been sitting cross-legged for a bit, waiting for us to get organized, then go ahead and recross your legs. Hands on your knees, and just start moving around. Inhaling as you shift forward, exhale as you shift back. And you may discover that, yes, you're ready to rock and roll and you want to move pretty quickly. Or you may be feeling like, hey, my body is feeling stiff today. I'm going to go at a moderate pace. And let your eyes maybe drift closed as you're moving. And feel the sensations on the inside of you. Anna Sphere has an excellent poem about morning calisthenics, trouble with the soul during morning calisthenics. And we'll probably end class with that. It always leads me to a good place. All right, next time you come forward, reverse the direction of your movement. Just finding, hey, what's going on with me today? Going on in your hips, in your legs, in your knees, in your ankles. Maybe what's happening in your spine, around your shoulders. Gentle movement. Inhaling forward, circling around, heading on back. Just finding, hey, here I am. And then sit tall and let your body be still. Feel the spaces of you that are touching the floor. And offer yourself the syllable LAM, L-A-M, LAM. And visualize it in that place that is touching the floor. Near the tailbone, the ischial tuberosities, the legs. And now we're going to start shifting forward and backwards. So you'll inhale forward and exhale, rock back. So it's a spinal flexion action. Inhaling, shifting forward, and exhaling, rounding back. Again, you can take this space really slowly. You can say, oh, what are all of the linkages and connections that happen in my body? Or you can move it more quickly. So just notice what your inclination is as you're moving. What feels good? Maybe you'll notice the spaces that are going, hey, I worked you, you worked me, or the spaces that are a little bit reluctant to be worked. And imagine that you're starting to pull some of the energy of the low body a little bit higher. Maybe you're feeling your pelvis a little bit more. And we'll come up to a tall seat. And visualize the space between your hip points, your low belly space, the space opposite of your sacrum inside the bowl of your pelvis. And offer yourself the syllable VAM, V-A-M. Sometimes this zone of the body is represented with the color orange. Dog and Lance are growling at each other.
It's not a growl.
Offer yourself. Notice how it feels in this zone. Press down through the feet. Maybe you need to recross your legs. We're going to be seated a little bit longer. Bring your hands to your shoulders. And we're going to go side to side. So maybe you inhale as you move left and exhale as you move right, but mostly make sure that breath is moving in your body and you're letting yourself feel the side to side motion. You may, as you're going over to one side, feel that opposite hip try to come up. And so think about, hey, we're trying to stay connected. Part of the work of yoga is to stay in the current moment. So try to stay connected with that side of the bottom as you're reaching away from it. And you can let your eyes go closed again. Do something that feels good for your gaze, letting yourself become a little bit less focused. We are very centered around the sense of sight. And we do a lot of hardening of the muscles around the eyeballs. So we can see things, so we can see the computer, so we can see our phone, so we can see the road ahead of us as we're driving. We're just very, very visual, so we can see what we're making. So as we're practicing our yoga, it's a good idea to devalue that sense a little bit and let that sensory, that big, loud sense move to the inside of the body so that we can hear more the sensations of the bottom, lifting and lowering, the sensations of the shoulders going side to side, the sense of a strength through the trunk as we're moving, and let the external world fall away a little bit. Come up, keep your hands on your shoulders, let your shoulder blades go back, and then feel around the belly button. So just visualizing that space around your belly button. And maybe this next breath actually moves the belly button out and your exhale draws it in. And the syllable that we offer to the navel center is RAM, R-A-M, RAM. And now we're going to twist side to side. So as you inhale, turn to the left. And as you exhale, turn to the right. And again, this is going to be one that you kind of get a little brisk on. You can think about the rainbird action. Or you can move it a little slower and really spend some time feeling the opposite sit bone as you turn, drawing the shoulder blades onto the back. Again, letting the gaze be soft, be fuzzy, maybe even closed, because we're looking for, operative word, we're looking to feel more and see less, as in visually with our eyeballs see less. We want to see with other senses in our yoga practice. And then come slowly to neutral. Take one big inhale. Exhale, empty out, and then reach your arms out. Expand as if you're going to hug the whole world. Draw the shoulder blades back and really offer the heart center the word yam. Y-A-M, yam. I remember that one by thinking yummy heart. And then I think of Miko Sasaki, who practices with us at the club. And then give yourself a big hug. That big open yam. Hug in. And then we're going to go off script a little bit here. This one's not so kundalini-ish. Hugging your opposite shoulders. Take your elbows around in circles. So this one is going to get movement into the rib cage, into the shoulders. All of this stuff has to soften and open up. Go ahead and reverse directions for us to find freedom into the neck and into the head, which is our ultimate goal today. Get that head to be quiet so that we can sense and feel the other things that are happening. Notice, open yourself up so you can notice those small and beautiful things. Like when you're outside today, the way the sun feels on your skin. Inhale and reach up. Exhale and release your hands to your legs or to the floor. Send your legs away and recross. And we're going to sit here again. Let your chin fall to your chest. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Keep your head leaning to the right. Take your chin towards your shoulder. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take your chin to your shoulder. Oh man. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Soften your jaw. Really let your jaw go. Feel like you might drool. And then let the head fall. Notice how the whole body is sort of listing to the right. See if you can reach away with your left fingertips. Come up higher, come up higher, come up higher. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Take your left shoulder blade down your back a little bit. And then lift your head. Yeah. Okay. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin towards your shoulder. Ear back towards your shoulder. Chin to your shoulder. Ear back to your shoulder. Chin to your shoulder. If you're finding a lot of tension in these places, these are things you can do before your Zoom meeting. These are things you can do while you're sitting in front of the computer. These are things you can do before you drive off in your car. We get a lot of tension up into this space there. The throat is this place of communication. Draw the ear towards the shoulder. Reach your right hand to the floor or your chair and sneak your fingers away, away, away. And then draw a shoulder blade onto the back. Push the front edge of that shoulder blade, the anterior aspect of your shoulder blade, onto the posterior aspect of your rib cage. You're just pushing the front of the shoulder blade onto the back of the ribs. Let you know we can say it in this fancy way. Or not. And then lift your head up and sit with this. The throat gets the word hum, or the syllable hum, H-A-M. And just feel that. Let the roof of your mouth really rise up. Let your throat open out. And imagine this space. It's all kinds of airy spaces. It's your larynx. It's your esophagus. It's major blood vessels and cerebrospinal vessels. So just imagine that it's vast, that your neck goes out beyond your shoulders. And then take the chin to the chest. Let the shoulders roll forward and then draw the shoulders back. Chin stays towards the chest. Let the shoulders roll forward. You can move your hands too. And then draw your shoulders back. Oh. Shoulders roll forward. Shoulders roll back. Press your fingertips down on the chair or the floor behind you. Make little clawing hands there. Draw the heads of the shoulders back. Press the shoulder blades towards each other. Push into your fingertips and lift the center of your chest up. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades together, still letting your head fall towards your chest. And then try to lift the back of your throat. It's like that thing we do when we're smearing peanut butter across our chest. Not in class, of course. Nobody ever does that in real life that I know of. Draw the back of your throat higher.
Don't mention it to Julia.
Lance said, don't mention that to Julia. Lift your head. All right, we've got a great story about Julia and anything spreadable. You know, don't leave her in the backseat of the car with anything spreadable, because it will be everywhere.
Don't leave her anywhere.
Anywhere with anything spreadable. Okay. All right.
A picture of her as the painted lady.
Oh, we could digress, but we're going to try not to, maybe. Hands and knees. Hands and knees, guys.
Anybody
Hands
who
and
would
knees.
like the pictures, just let Sarah
Yeah,
know.
message me. PM me. We'll send you the Julia photos. Okay. Hands and knees. Cat cow. 5 rounds. Let's see if Lance can get there before round 6. He loves me, guys. All right, from cat cow. Inhale, lift your chest and your tail. Exhale, round and press your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees, lift your head and your chest. Exhale, round towards cat, and then press your hips towards your heels. 2 more times. Inhale, cow, lift your head and your tail. Exhale, round, press your hips towards your heels. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, hips towards the heels. And then come up and walk your hands forward. So you might decide to bring your forearms down, or you might decide to bring your forehead down. Whoops, careful. Ow, are you okay? Carrie Ann encountered a chair. All right, press your bottom back. Okay, she's okay. Yeah, so puppy dog pose. And then in this space, with your arms stretching away, find a little bit of cat-cow action. So think about, arching and then lowering the chest. So going towards cat and then towards cow. Beautiful. You guys are so good at this. Okay. And then let's come up, hands and knees, and we'll do the shoulder stretch here. So we're going to thread the needle. Reach your right arm up, 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 and then feed right hand through. Okay. And then imagine that there's a wall that you could lift your left arm to and push into that wall. So push your palm forward into the wall to draw your shoulder blades towards each other. And I'm going to give Lance a wall too. They can both have walls. Inhale while you're here. Exhale, bring your hands down, press into the earth, lift yourself back up, hands and knees. Reach the other side up and open. And then feed through. And I'm going to offer them a wall space. So imagine your palm, your up palm, is pushing forward into a wall. And then you roll those shoulders back and gather the shoulder blades together so you can stretch the sternum forward a little bit more. 2 more breaths. And then release your hand down. Lift yourself up, hands and knees. And I want you to go back towards puppy dog pose. So the forehead moving back down towards the floor. And this time let's make really active arms. So sneak your fingertips out ahead of you. Straighten your arms. And then I want you to press down through your fingertips, through your palms, and lift your elbows up. So elevate your elbows off the floor. Yes. And then play with, for some of us, we drop the rib cage a lot towards the thighs. Play with lifting those low ribs back towards your spine so that you're stretching the front of the sternum a little bit more. And we're innervating the heart space. Because the pathway, the energetic pathway comes from the feet, up through the pelvis, into the belly, through the heart, to the throat, and up to the head is the idea. And then we want that clear channel all the way back down. Fabulous. Walk in, hands and knees. And then take your hands towards your knees. Tuck your toes under and lift, roll back through your feet. Lift your knees off the earth. Come towards a forward fold, down doggish kind of place. Bend your knees a lot, hands towards your hips, and stand up.
Fancy way to go.
It's the fancy way. Evidently, I say that every time.
You too.
I say it every time, says Carrie Ann. It's the Annie Adamson way to come up. Do I say that every time too?
Yeah.
I say that every time too. I don't want to take credit for it. Okay, step wide. Step wide, my friends. Step wide on your mat. Step wide on your mat, right and left. Hoi. Okay. Hopefully your house is as fun as my house. Let your toes spin out a little bit, and we're going to do a little goddess squatting. So we'll bend down, and inhale, reach up, and exhale down, and inhale up, and exhale down, and inhale up, and exhale down, and then shift a little side to side. Think about being a goddess of revenge here, Kali. You can really take it on. Inhale, reach it up. Broaden your heels out. Bring your hands towards your hips, soften your knees, fold forward, hands to the floor or to the chair that you're going to bring around in front of you perhaps, okay? And then bend your knees and shift your hips side to side. So yeah, let movement happen. We want to get information up from the floor to our higher centers. And the information that we want from the floor is, hey, I am in a safe place. That's the information we're looking for. So the more we move into the legs feel happy and secure, they have a nice sense of blood flow through them, then they're like, yeah, we got you, we can support you. Go ahead, come to steady. Bend your knees a little bit more, scoot your butt back, and then see if you can... Oh my gosh. And see if you can straighten your legs. So think, lift the fronts of your thighs up. Push your calf muscles forward. Yeah. And just notice any sensation that's arising, anything that doesn't feel safe and secure. If you're not feeling secure in this place, then bring your hands higher on your legs or bend your knees more. You could do a headstand from here, but I'm not going to cue it. So we're going to let Carrie Ann do whatever Carrie Ann's going to do. Okay. Hands come back towards your hips or your thighs. Bend your knees. Inhale. Come upright. Fabulous. Bring your feet together. Go ahead and bring your feet together. And so now we're going to challenge that sense of security in the feet by going back to our standing work, our balance work. So if you want to have a chair nearby or a table nearby, you may, a wall nearby. We're going to move weight over into the right foot. Lift the left knee up and take it out to the left. And then draw it back in and settle the foot down. Now, if you can, you turn around. I'm not going to turn around because that seems like it'd be rude. Draw your right knee up. Take it out to the right. Bring it back to the center and settle down. We're going to go side to side. Left knee up. Take it out to the left. Move your inner groins back. Bring it central. Set down. Draw your right knee up. Take it out. Wall. Bring it back. Set it down. Left knee up, take it out, bring it back, set it down. One more time, either side. Right, out, forward, down, left, out, forward, down. Settle the weight, move it to the left. Bend the left knee. Think calf muscle going forward, quadricep going back. Draw the tailbone down. Float your right knee up. And then see, foot to calf or foot above the knee. You want to make sure that you are not on your knee joint. Okay, guys? Not on the knee joint. Push. Because your knee is too important to take lateral forces. You need to... and joints, you shouldn't put pressure on joints because you can undo ligaments.
Ooh, fun.
Not fun. The opposite of fun, even if you're 13. Inhale.
We down now?
As you're coming down, exhale, release down. I had to answer the question. Oh, I can't talk and balance.
What?
All right. I know. Right foot, stretch it out. Bring the left knee up. Find that balance point, right? So as I'm here, my right hip is popping out. So I'm going to draw, slurp that space in, bring the left knee higher, take it out to the left, decide where you're going to place your foot. And then you sandwich, you squeeze those two places together, and then think about that outer hip dropping down. Maybe you reach up, maybe you reach out. Hug the whole world. Lift the knee, bring it center, take it down. Okay, step your feet out wide again. Or you can hop them out.
What?
So many things, so many things. Turn your right toes out, bend your right knee. We're just gonna move. Bend your right knee, float your arms up, inhale. Exhale, release your arms, turn your right toes forward, turn your left toes out, bend into your left knee. We're just going to go side to side, guys. We're looking to bring the energy up from the earth. Straighten out the legs, release the hands, switch, right toes out, inhale, reach up. You can go at your own speed, exhaling, releasing, returning, inhaling, floating up, exhaling, releasing. I'm not even going to talk. You play in your body and just notice, where do you feel a sense of security? Where do you feel a sense of challenge? Where do you feel the inclination to go deeper? Where in your body? So again, this is taking us into that sense of going into the inside. Using the internal proprioception, sense of ourself in space. Finish out one more time to the left. and tall. Find yourself in Tadasana. So look down at your feet and broaden your heels out slightly. Make sure then that the knees aren't looking at one another. You want to open the knees out so they're moving towards the second, third toe space. Think about the inner groins coming together and moving back. Take the tail back. Low belly lifts up, 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 up. Shoulder blades go onto the back. And let's do a little bit more of that neck mobilization. So this time just tick-tock your head. And I don't mean the app that everybody's been watching endlessly. What?
I don't have it.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Inhale up, exhale one side, inhale up, exhale the other. I haven't been a mother very long, obviously. I'm kicking the tiger. What Julia was reading in the newspaper this morning, and she reports back that the tiger at a local zoo has
It was the
Brooklyn Zoo, so it was a U.S. zoo, sorry, not very local, has tested positive for COVID-19. I said I wasn't going to hang out with the tiger.
Julia said the zoos were closed.
Yeah, Julia reported the zoo is closed.
All zoos are closed.
All zoos are closed. Pull your chin
It
back.
turns out there's this thing called self-quarantine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything.
Chin towards your chest. Roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then take your left shoulder around.
Forward or back?
Either way. And then reverse directions. Lift your head up. Take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Heads of the shoulders back, and then roll your right shoulder. A few times. And then go back the other way. Lift your head up. Reach your arms forward. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. And then reach your arms higher. Maybe you'll go all the way up towards the ceiling. Shoot thunderbolts out through your fingers. Lift, lift, lift. And then release the arms down. So we're going to work with triangle pose. And we're going to reach the arms up. And then we're going to go to the side. So we're really going to innervate the belly here. Step wide.
You're going to whack me.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Get your arms up on your inhale. Pull your inner thighs together. We're going to turn the right toes out. Exhale and reach. Inhale, come up. Turn your right toes. Turn your left toes out. Exhale and reach. And maybe it's not a super far space. We're just looking to bring some excitement up higher in the body. Right toes out. Lean right. You might bend your elbows. Inhale, come up. Left toes out. Lean left. Inhale, come up. Right toes out. Final time. Lean right. Maybe you extend your arms. Maybe you bend. Maybe you reach back behind you. Inhale, sweep up. Left toes out. Lean left. You could bend your elbows. You could reach back behind you. You could sweep up, inhale, release your arms down, step, hop, heel, toe, the feet back together. Okay. We're going to come into a series of head down poses now, and we're going to hold them for at least 10 breaths each. The first one is going to involve something that you can bring your head to. So I recommend a chair, and let's start high. So think about the chair back. So go ahead and these guys are going to pull their chairs into view and not whack themselves with them, hopefully. I think it needs to come all the way onto the mat so people can see.
This one?
Yeah, towards the... Okay. And then I'm going to have Lance walk, he's actually in a pretty good spot here. He's going to cross his forearms and rest his forehead on his forearms on the back of the chair. Yeah. And he might step his feet a little wider apart and bend the knees a little bit. And then push the inner thighs back and take the tailbone back. Yeah. And then breathe. I'm going to shift the camera slightly here so you can see the full. And then as you're working here, you could start to take your legs a little bit longer. You could drop your heels down and straighten the legs. Yeah. And we're going to keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And let yourself get softer. So when you feel yourself drifting into a space of thinking, then go back to your feet. Lift your toes. If you start thinking, lift your toes so it lights up the sensation in your legs. Settle the toes back down. Maybe bend into the knees and move the inner groins back. So you're really drawing the quads up and you're feeling the backs of your thighs. So we're really intimately moving into that sense of deep connection to the earth. Then play in the realm of the belly. Think about, can you take your inner groins back more and get longer across the front of the body? Can you reach the pubic mound back and the sternum, even the manubrium, that's the space right between the collarbones that the collarbones connect to, draw that into your throat almost. And then let's soften, bend into the knees, walk yourself forward, press into your hands, come up. Hold onto your chair with your right hand and open to the side. And then I want you to hold on with the right. Maybe you grab the outside edge of the chair so you can get the chest opener here. So you're just going to push into the chair as you turn your body to the left. And then so go ahead and turn your feet even. Turn your feet to the left. Yeah. And then notice if your shoulder, if your shoulder starts to lift, see if you can draw the shoulder blade down. Yeah, you might bend the elbow. Yeah. You want to stretch across the pecs here and add depth to the shoulder blades. Does that feel okay? And I always notice that I go soft in the belly in this space, so I have to draw it into the ribs a little bit. And then come forward. Come forward. And turn your chair so you're putting your hands towards the seat of the chair. Unless this space was perfect for you and you're feeling a lot already, if there was already a challenge there, then you'll keep your chair, the back of your chair towards you. Otherwise, you turn the seat of the chair towards you and you put your hands down on the seat. And then you're going to walk your hips back. So this one's more like down dog. Walk your hips back so that your arms come straight and your chest goes towards your thighs. Yeah. Step your feet wider. Give yourself space, right to left. Yes. Bend your knees. And we're looking to have, again, we're letting go the thinking bit and going towards the feeling bit. So check and see. If you're in the, what am I going to have for lunch today? And if my comment took you right there, then lift your toes.
What do we have for lunch today?
Lift your toes, man. Move the weight towards the balls of your feet, even though your toes are lifted. Settle your toes back down. Push the calf muscles, those meaty muscles forward, and then draw the meat of the quads back. Yeah. So you're really feeling the support of the legs. When we connect to the leg support, the mind goes, oh, have less to worry about. Check in with the belly space. How is your lumbar spine feeling? Does it feel like it's moving into your body? Are your low ribs coming towards your thighs, or are you reaching them away? Can you breathe in the amount of sensation you've given yourself? So if you've gone to your deepest place, you're just hanging out there for the fun of it, notice if that's useful. For me, when I go to my deepest place, when we're going to be in a long hold, and the teacher said that, I often start to get nervous, and it pulls into that. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. So you're always welcome in your body to find that space and then back off. Go ahead and draw yourself forward. Walk your feet in towards your chair. Hands to hips. Inhale, come up. And we're going to turn the chair around again and take our warrior one with the head on the chair. So it'll be more like a pyramid pose. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick demo for you guys, and then we'll let Lance step in. So chair back towards you. I'm going to take my right foot back. And the back heel can drop down, or you can stay lifted, okay? And then we're going to bring forearms, or I'm kicking the dog right now. Forearms to the chair, and you could stay upright, thinking shoulder blades down, lifting the low ribs back, or you might be able to stack and rest the forehead. So we're looking for information. We're looking for the pull between the inner thighs. We're looking for the straightening of the left leg, the forward leg. It doesn't have to be a super straight leg. It can be a slightly bent leg. As long as you're getting information here and we're devaluing, right? We're letting the head rest. You could grab the sides of the chair like I'm doing here, let your elbows drop and your forehead rest. Make sure you don't walk away with a funny mark on your forehead. All right, we're going to stay here. So as I'm going to talk Lance in if you're not there yet. So hands to your chair back, step your right foot back, left foot forward, draw the inner thighs towards one another, elongate the spine so the forehead can go down and rest. Notice what part of your body lights up, right? Immediately it's like, whoa! So if you have a body part lighting up, you probably need to back off from that space. For me, it's usually a need to engage a little bit more around that space. So oftentimes it's the belly that I let go of, or I let go of the hug between the heels. Let the sensations of your physical body. In yoga philosophy, there are different kleshas. They call them sort of layers of awareness. And there's the breath layer, the pranamaya kosha. And there's the body layer, which is the annamaya kosha. So today's practice is this: work with the breath body and work with the physical body to get us towards the feeling and then even into that space of freedom. Bend your forward knee, press down into your hands, step your feet towards one another, stand up tall, and we'll give ourselves a moment. Why don't you go ahead and take a side stretch, so let one hand go down, the other arm come up. And then release. Other side. And then release. And we'll bring the left foot forward, right foot back. You can decide if you're going to do 5 breaths on either. Or this is not Carrie's favorite pose.
Not what we just did, left foot forward, right foot back.
You just did the right foot back.
Left foot forward.
Right foot
The
back.
other one.
Right foot forward, Lex. As you decide
The
to do.
other one.
Okay. And then let's reach forward. Press your hands down. Reach forward. Forearms can come to the chair. Hug your right hip back. Left hip forward. Lift the belly. Elongate through the spine. And then allow yourself to be here. See if you can draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Reach those low ribs up and back. And be okay. Bend this knee a little bit. So you can get the hip back. Ew. And I just noticed everything sort of went this way, right? So press down into your back heel and move that back inner thigh back. And then grow from the front of your pelvis out through your sternum, the center of the chest. Inhale where you're at. Exhale, step your feet, walk your feet forward. Press down into the chair, come upright. And we didn't do the other side with the shoulders, so we've got to do that now. Take your left hand to the chair back. Bend your elbow maybe a little bit so you can roll the shoulder back. And then start to walk your feet to the right. So you're getting this stretch across the left side of the chest. And you want to make sure you're not thrusting the hips forward, right? You want to bring the tailbone back, ground down into the inner edges of the feet. Nice job. And then you can check and see how stiffly you're holding your right shoulder. So the goal is that we bring softness and vitality into the space so that we can have all of that sensation that the physical body gives us without that gripping space. Go ahead and turn towards the chair. And we're going to play around here. I want you to come into a forward fold with your forehead resting. So the easiest approach to that would be with the chair back towards you and your forehead, maybe you put your towel down, your forehead here. So Lance is in the easiest version right here. He could hold on to the chair or he can let himself dangle. If you are dangling, you want to make sure that you're not feeling tension into your low back space. Carrie Ann she's turned her chair around and she's got the chair seat. If you have blocks at home, I'm going to grab a block and show you the block option. If you have blocks at home, you can bring your forehead to a block or blocks. So in this space, block or blocks, forehead comes down, and then you let your hands rest on the floor or on the chair. And make sure you've got at least hip distance space between your feet. Do the little check-in, lift the toes, push the calves forward, draw the quadriceps up and back, settle the toes down, and we're going to hang out. Feel the breath come into your body. And feel it flow back out again. Every time you feel an invitation to think about other things, dive back into sensation. Find the quads, or find the shoulders, or find the back of the throat.
Soften in your knees. Bring your hands to your thighs or your hips. Make sure you're steady on your feet as you come up. And then we'll just stand for a minute. You can have your hand on your chair and just let the blood come back from your head down to your heart. Let it be recirculated. These poses are so good for calming the mind space. Okay. Your job now is to come down onto your back. So do that. And we're going to try to keep this tenor, so this level of slow. And I want you to take, once you get down, I want you to squeeze your towel, either rolled or folded between your knees.
No.
Yeah, we're not all the way into Shavasana. Bend your knees, bend your knees, squeeze your knees, and go into a twist. So drop your knees to the right. Let your left shoulder go down. And you might move the knees closer to your shoulder, or you might move them further away from your shoulder. And breathe. Looking to keep that steady rhythm that we established with the head down poses. So the bottom knee is going to lift up into the towel or blanket to help you bring both knees up. And then take yourself over to the other side. Let your outer hip reach away and your shoulder, opposite shoulder, actually same side shoulder. So if you're going to the left, your right shoulder is going down.
Oh, opposite shoulder, because you're twisting to the opposite side.
And slow your roll, let yourself go a little bit slower with your breath, slower with your body. These guys are done with that side. Okay, put your feet back down on the floor. Right now, keep a flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor. Step your feet as wide as your hips. Take the blanket out from between your legs. And we're going to move up and down out of bridge pose a couple of times. So arms by your sides, elbows push down. Draw your chest nice and open. And inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, lower your pelvis down. Inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, lower the pelvis down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. And now you're going to lift up. I'm going to hand these guys a block because we have them handy, but you might slide a towel behind your bottom on your sacrum. And we're going to stay here in this space. This is another moment where we're allowing the head to be below the heart. So again, this is going to be a calming one. You can you can dig down into those elbows as that feels good to you to get this beautiful lift in the chest. And then see if you can let your hands just release by your sides.
Let that breath swell out and draw back in. Swell out and draw back in. And this pose is really, because we're so well supported here, this pose is really an invitation to the subtle. So this is a moment where you can really feel how the breath is shifting your body. See if you can stay awake for it. If this is feeling good and you want to stay, then choose to be right here for a little bit longer. If you're ready for something a little bit different, then start to draw your right knee in towards your chest and kick your right heel up towards the ceiling. So we'll go into a Viparikarani or a legs up space, and you can start with just one leg or you can take both legs. So I recommend start with the right and see how it feels. If it feels at all tippy, then stay with just one leg. If you've got that steadiness, then go ahead and take two legs, and we're in a version of shoulder stand. Shoulder stand is, in yoga, it's called the queen of poses. Certainly in Iyengar yoga, it's called the queen of poses. And it is called this because we get the chin lock here. We have the drawing back of the chin. And so we're closing off, to a certain extent, the impulses of the brain into the rest of the body. We still have the sensory information, but less of the thinking information is going down into the body. And so it's one that's really beautiful for setting us up into meditation, because it lets us have more space, more mental space. If you're working one leg at a time, go ahead and switch legs. Keep the breath happening. If you're working both legs, bring them down. If you're working one leg, you might stay a little longer. And then we'll press down into the feet. Lift your hips up. Slide whatever you've got under your hips out and lower your body to the floor. Y'all. Extend the arms and legs away from you. So kick your feet out away from you. Reach your arms away. Stretch really long. And then let's draw just the right knee into the chest. Hug it in. Kick the left heel far away from you. And we're going to take the right knee with the left hand across the body. So we're going to take another twist. A closed twist. And then I'm going to cue you into, you can see if this one works for you. It was really interesting in my body the other day. Use your right knee into that left hand. Push the knee up into the hand and draw your elbow down. So you're feeling, you're getting a little bit more into that dynamic tension in the space. And see if that doesn't give you a broadening in your waist. Just see. It might. These practices have been so good for our family. And we're so glad you guys have been able to join us for these. It's been good for me because it gives me a structure to my day. And it's fun to hang out with Lance and Carrie Ann, and they can make it. So thank you for joining us, for sharing this practice with us and your body. Bring your knee up and switch. Left knee into your chest, hug. Kick your right heel away from you. Give yourself time to find that space. So what we're doing when we're drawing here, we're pushing the pelvis down, we're drawing the low ribs down to elongate the spine before we take it into the twist. Then you go ahead and you let your right hand guide your left knee across to the right. And then you do that push-pull action where the left knee is going to try to push up into your hand and your hand is pushing down. And see if that doesn't give you a little bit more space in your low back. Giving yourself time in the poses, time to come out of what you feel like it looks like and go deeper than your skin layer. Go down into your fascia, go down into your muscles, go down into your bone spaces. Falling through our layers of sensation. And bring your knee up. Hug both knees into the chest. We're going to go for happy baby pose. So your hands can go behind your thighs and pull your feet towards the ceiling. Or you might reach in between your knees and grab for the outside edges of your feet and pull the knees towards your armpits as you try to kick the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And you could rock here. I'm looking for that long line of sensation when I come here. So I'm not so much interested in rocking today, but your body might be. So you can extend the consensus around here is that rocking is good. And then think about lowering your tailbone towards the floor as you draw your knees down and the soles of your feet up. So you're getting deep into the lumbar spine, extension. Take 3 more breaths. Let yourself be slow. And then any other pose that your body says, hey, I want that one. Give me that one. So letting yourself find one more space or find a comfortable space to hang out in. And start to let go. You might grab your chair and slide your calves up your chair since we used it today in our practice. You might
extend your legs away from you. Turn your palms up. Relax your right foot. Relax your left foot. Relax your right calf. Relax your left calf. Relax your right hip. Relax your left hip. Relax your whole belly, your whole spine. Relax your right shoulder and your left shoulder. Relax your whole right arm and your whole left arm. Relax the back of your throat. Relax the front of your neck. Relax your forehead. Relax your ears. So here's that poem I promised you. This is another poem by Honest Fear. Trouble with the soul at morning calisthenics. Lying down, I lift my legs. My soul, by mistake, jumps into my legs. This is not convenient for her. Besides, she must branch, for legs are two. When I stand on my head, my soul sinks down to my head. She is then in her place. But how long can you stand on your head? Especially if you do not know how to stand on your head. Letting the physical body and the mental body and the emotional body all come to a place of static, of stasis. Where you can feel all of these things as one thing. At the same time that maybe you see them as different things. We're going to take our meditative space right here. And if you drift off, we will catch you again tomorrow. More gentle yoga. Feel the base of your body, your legs, space between your legs, your bottom. Visualize the word Vam. See this place as a place of security. A place that can run you away from danger and hold you up tall. Feel the space of the pelvis, the space of feeling and moving, of being able to shift right and shift left. All of the choices of life right here in this space. Feeling this very human superpower to choose. Move your mind to the middle of your belly, to your factory floor, where outside life plant life and animal life is digested to create your life, where filtration happens, where metabolism happens, where filtration and discernment happen. And give so much gratitude for your strong belly, your strong center. Feel the space of your heart, your yam space. The space of emotion, the center between the feeling body and the thinking mind. Your place of open-heartedness and generosity and gratitude. Feel all those very human superpowers. Visualize the space at your throat, your hum space. It's a space of deep creativity, of self-expression. It's a space of passageway. Things travel up towards the brain, things travel down towards the body. It's a space of your voice, of song, of laughter. Feel your very super human powers here. Feel the center of your forehead, the center of your brain, the place where all of your sensory organs come to offer input for life. Feel the power of the mind to keep you steady and also to offer you squirrels, to offer you distractions. Honor this powerful space. Feel the crown of the head, your connection to all people, to all things that have come before, all things yet to come, the heavens and the earth. Your connection to the ineffable, the unknowable, the magic and awe and wonder. Stay right here, or begin to bring yourself up to a seat, wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, drawing your knees in, reaching your arms out and away, hugging your knees into your chest, rolling over to whichever side is unencumbered, and then pressing yourself up to a seat. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. Lift your chest up and bow your head. Remember that each of us is so full of gifts and powers. We were born this way. We remain this way. It's a matter of letting ourselves access. Get out of your own way today. Let yourself feel. Let yourself experience. The light in me honors that very same light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice.
Namaste.
Thank you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.